to get to the portal page, you go to our website, which is swatltd.com. So this brings you to the website. This is what the website looks like. And before I continue, Monica mentioned earlier that all our banking information is on the website. So this is where you find the banking information. This tab that says Bank Info and Budget Plan, you click on it. This is all our banking information. Everything you need is here to make your payments. And when you're making your payment, if you have the banking information, it doesn't matter if you're doing an online transfer or you're going in the bank, it doesn't make a difference. All right, so with that out of the way. So once you're on the website, landing page, once you have an account and your account has been activated, then you go to sign in. All right. So you enter your email and password. And then this brings you to your portal. All right. So I hope that's clear how you get to your portal. When you log into your portal, this is what your portal will look like on the landing page. All right. So if you look to the left, you'll see all these menu, all the menu options over here. So it's your portal. In the interest of time, I can't go through the entire portal. I'm just going to touch on the important sections. But it's your portal. Please take at least 5 minutes and familiarize yourself with the portal so you know what's on your portal, what your portal can do. Because sometimes we'll send a student, go to your portal and do this, and they're saying, where is it? If you go to the video section of your portal, you'll see a lot of very useful videos. Videos that explain the application process, video that tells you how to go about the job selection. This video even tells you how to use a portal. So this is about the job selection process again. And right on your home page, as soon as you log in, there's this video that says how to add your payments. So if you make a payment and you're not sure how to post it to your portal, there's a video right here that gives you step by step how you post your payment to the portal. All right, so as I mentioned, I'm not going to go through all these options. I'm just going to go through the critical ones at this point. But please, on your own time, familiarize yourself with all the different tabs and what they do. All right, so just to repeat also your contract. We asked you to read your contract. I know that you would have seen your contract about 2 to 3 times while registering, but for the people who just clicked agree and didn't read it just so they could continue the process, your contract is located right here, right beneath your profile photo. So that's where you go and you can download a copy of a contract and read it. And we ask that everyone who is registered for the program read your contract. All right. Don't let it be a case where when something happens down the line, we have to say, but that's in your contract. And you didn't know because you didn't read the contract. All right. So back to what Shanna said earlier, there are 3 things that you're required to complete in order to get job access. So the first thing is uploading your documents. So when you're registered and your account is approved, you get an email with a list of documents that you must upload to the portal. However, in order to gain job access from that list of documents, you must upload your passport size photo and a 1-page resume. So if you go to the document section, the document tab here, this is where you see all the documents that you're required to upload. Now, you'll notice that each document tells you what format the document should be in. So it tells you that the photo should be in JPG. The resume, it doesn't say it here, but it's on this side. So it says that the resume should be in doc or docx in order for you to upload it. All right, so passport PDF, visa PDF, and it continues all the way down. So once a document is successfully uploaded, this green arrow appears here. So notice that there's a green arrow here and there's one here, but there's none other files. That's because there are no files uploaded in these slots. So if you upload a document and you want to be sure if it was uploaded, you just need to look if you're seeing this green arrow to the right. and ensure that you're paying attention to the formats, that the document you're uploaded is in the correct format. Because a lot of times persons message, oh, they're uploading the documents and it won't upload. Most of the times, 9 out of 10 of the times, they have the document in the wrong format. And we don't recommend that you attach. All right, so if I click on this, it will ask me to attach a file. So we don't recommend that you click and add all the files and then go to the bottom and hit upload. Because if one document is off, it's gonna reject everything. So we recommend that you just upload one document at a time. So you attach the photo and you go and you click upload and you do the same for the other documents. Now, when you're uploading your documents, please pay attention to the list of documents that were sent to you in the email. All right, just focus on those documents. So that's the first thing. You have to upload at least the photo and the one-page resume in order to get job access. All right, so the next thing was that you have to pay your deposit of $500 US. All right, so that's the second requirement. The third requirement is that you have to do a customer service quiz that's on your portal. And earlier, I see a lot of people in the chat asking where to find the quiz. So if you click on job access here, this is where you find the quiz. All right, but you have to watch this video here, the professionalism seminar and quiz. The quiz is based on this video. So you have to watch the video in order to complete the quiz. And as Shanna mentioned earlier, you have to score 80% or more in order to pass the quiz. So uploading your documents, paying your deposit, the $500 US deposit, and completing this quiz and passing it is what makes you eligible for job access. Again, job access is not automatic. You have to wait to be granted job access. And once you're granted job access, you get an email saying you are granted job access. Now, into the job access. So after doing all these and you do your quiz and everything, and you've gotten your email saying you're granted job access, then this is where you come and you click on this button here that says job access granted. Sorry. So you click on this button here that says job access granted. Now, this that you're seeing here is the live job board, the current live jobs that are currently on the job board. So the first thing I want to point out is at the top, you're going to see instructions. Remember, we have 4 sponsors here at SWAT. Sponsors have they do things, even though they primarily serve the same main function, their processes may vary a bit from sponsor to sponsor. So with that, there are specific instructions for whatever sponsor you're selecting your jobs from. So at the top, you'll see that there's an instruction sheet for CCI, which is the same as Greenheart. There's a CHI instruction page. There's a Spirit instruction document. And there's also a CSB instruction document. Now, before you choose your job, ensure that you read the instruction for whatever sponsor you're choosing your job from. It's very important, and that's why we put these documents here. When you're selecting your job, you might see where these documents come up where you actually have to read the document before you actually move on to the job board. So it's that important. All right, so at the top here, you'll notice there's a button that says you can filter the jobs that you see based on the sponsor. All right, so if I click CCI, I'm only gonna see CCI jobs. If I click CHI, I'm only gonna see CHI, but CHI currently don't have a job on the job board. And if I click Spirit, I'm only gonna see Spirit jobs. So sometimes persons saying, oh, they're only seeing jobs from one sponsor. The issue is you may have changed the filter at the top to a specific sponsor. So if I put this back to all, then I'm seeing jobs from all sponsors. All right. So these are the jobs. So these are some real-time jobs that are currently on the job board. So just looking at the job board, it gives you a wealth of information about the job. So from left to right, you notice that, all right, so it tells you what sponsor the job falls under. It tells you what's the name of that employer. It tells you the state, the city and the state that the job is located in. And here it tells you the positions that the employer offer. And it's important that you read the instruction document because this section, the job that you're applying for, it's going to vary from sponsor to sponsor. All right. And then this shows you the number of positions that are remaining. And then this shows you what the wage is. So because this job have a number of positions and the wages for the different positions are different, then you're going to see all the wages listed here. All right, here it shows you what the housing cost is. So for this job, it's saying that the cost is $100 per person per week. All right, and it asks you, so you'll find a few jobs where you're required to have a social security number in order to apply for that job. So you'll find that information here. So notice that this employer, you don't need to have a social security beforehand in order to apply for this job. Now, here is a PDF document for the job, which gives you even more information about the job. Just quickly, this is what one of these documents, and I'm from the Spirit department, so the document is going to be a Spirit document. But remember, it's going to be different for each sponsor. So this is where you download the document to learn more about the job. So this is a sample of one of the documents. All right, so you notice here, it tells you everything about the job. So it tells you the position, and this job is not on the job board currently, by the way. So it tells you, it gives you a description of the position. It tells you what the position is, it gives you a description of the position, what you're required, the position responsibilities and all of that. It tells you approximately how many hours you'll work per week. It gives you a start date range and an end date range for the job. So you know that you have to be able to start within this range to select that job. It tells you the pay rate. It tells you the overtime terms. It tells you about the housing. And this is important because this tells you the type of housing you're going to live in. Notice that it says that you will live in a dormitory style housing. Tells you what you'll have access to. And this part is important because persons choose jobs all the time. And when they reach in the US, they start complaining about, oh, they don't have a stove, they don't have a fridge, or things like that, which was already stated on the job offer. And if this was stated on the job offer, then we really can't do anything about that because it was stated. So we can't ask the employer now to change what they previously stated. All right, and it tells you what the cost of housing is. If you're required to pay a housing deposit upon arrival, what that amount will be. It tells you whether it's co-ed housing. And this is important for persons who are traveling in group, especially if you're of different genders. So you'll know whether you'll be able to actually live in the same housing. It tells you the distance to work, and it tells you how you get to work. So you can either walk or bike. Cost of transportation to work, $0, or cost of the bike. And it tells you additional requirements. It tells you if you need uniform. It tells you, it gives you arrival information. So it tells you what's the closest airport to the employer and if that employer is willing to pick you up from the airport. And again, this is important because a lot of persons choose job and then in the end you hear that, oh, they don't want the job because the employer will not pick them up at the airport. You would have had this information before you even chose the job. So ensure that you're reading the job descriptions properly. All right, so just to show you how detailed these documents, as I said, it's going to be a bit different for each sponsor, but the documents typically gives you the same information. So just a few tips when you're browsing the job board. The first thing is don't just look at the pay rate because a lot of persons, all they're interested in is the money. All right. And all they're looking at is the pay rate, but you can't just look at the pay rate. You have to look at any additional benefits that that job offers. For example, look at the cost of the housing. Look at how do you get to work? Can you walk to work? Or do you have to take an Uber to work? Taking an Uber is additional expenses. Look at if there are any additional benefits to the job. Like if you're working in a hotel or a restaurant, do you get food? Do you get is meals provided and stuff like that? Or you may have subsidized food or stuff like that. So look for additional benefits to the job and don't just look at the pay rate. Next thing is research the area. Research the area that you're going before you choose the job. All right. So if it can't be after you arrive there, that's when you start Googling and then you're coming up with all these issues that you've found through Googling. No, do your research before you choose the job. And it's also important that you do your research because a lot of persons are interested in second jobs, and that's fine. But we cannot guarantee you a second job. All right. And it's your responsibility to find a second job. Not all areas are going to be conducive to a second job. Some areas might be a bit remote and don't have a lot of opportunities for second jobs. Other areas may be more populated and there are more opportunities for second jobs. So that's another reason why it's important to research the area before you actually choose a job. So a lot of persons want to travel with their friends. If you're traveling with your friend, if you're traveling with a friend or you're traveling in a group, and let me just take the time to say this. If you're traveling in a group of more than two, please do not select jobs from Spirit. And the reason for that is with Spirit, we restrict group placement to a maximum of 2 people per group. So if you're traveling as a pair, fine, you can choose Spirit job, but if it's more than 2, then your best option is one of the other sponsors. All right, but if you're traveling as a group, all right, let me see if I can go across. All right, so there's a comment box here that you can type notes. Notice there's something in the box that says, example, who you're traveling with and which job you want. And again, that's going to be dependent on the sponsor. But if you're traveling with a friend, you have to state it here when you're submitting your jobs, because that's the only way we're going to know to process you and that person as a group. I know that when you're registering and when you're doing the registration form for SWAT, see if you're traveling with a friend and you would have stated that there, that's fine. But we're not gonna know that you're traveling with a friend. That was your registration. When we're actively doing job placement, this is where we're gonna see that you're traveling with a friend to know, oh, these people are traveling together. Let's process them together. So I think that's all the tips I have for you on the job selection process and the SWAT portal. So just take some time to familiarize yourself with the rest of the portal. And as Monica said before, more jobs will be posted to the job board as soon as those are made available by the sponsor. So it's an ongoing process. All right. Thank you for your time.